Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I wanted to show you one of the poorer, very poor spot here as far as forage and soil fertility. There's a lot of indicator plants here showing that this ground is in bad need of some carbon, manure, urine, animals trampling it and then leaving it. There's one problem with it. It's steep. You don't want to put a tractor on here. You'll absolutely destroy this hillside. And it's dangerous. You might flip the tractor. And, you know, in the old days, I probably would have put a bale at the top right there and pushed it. And then it went down that hill and ended up in that creek. I don't want to do that either. Hay's too expensive to do that. So we're going to use the Greg Judy Bale unroller. We sell them on our website. And they hook to this. So with an ATV, you know, and a ball hitch on it. There's my 2-inch ball hitch on the back. You do have to have a 4-wheel drive, and it sure helps to have a 500cc. And you could use a side-by-side or whatever. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the bales up here on top of the hill, hook onto them, and I'm gonna cover this whole hillside with hay fed to cattle. Particularly, in this instance, it's gonna be bulls and steers. This is the farm that Jan and I bought this spring. And, you know, overall, this farm it's probably one of the best farms we own. As far as grass, and it's just a really good farm. Brian, he had it before we did, and you know, Brian, he took good care of it. He didn't overgraze it. He always made sure that he left plenty of grass when he moved them out, and the land shows it. But on this one area right here, the new people that bought it, of course, he's a developer, they came in here and cut this for hay. And on these old thin hills, when I mean thin topsoil, there's probably 1 or 2 inches of topsoil on some of this. Some of it up there on top where, you know, Brian would have fed hay in the winter. Heck, there's 7, 8 inches up there in a few places of topsoil. But you get on the side of these hills, you can see the broomsedge. Right here it is. This is nasty stuff, folks. The old timers called that bankruptcy grass. I've heard other people call it poverty grass. And what it's telling you is your soil is bankrupt. There's nothing gonna grow. Not that a cow will eat or a sheep. And the sheep and cattle don't like it when it gets mature. They will eat it when it's vegetative, which only lasts about 14 days. That's usually about the 1st or 2nd week of July. And after that, they won't touch it. So with that little machine right there, we've got about 55 head over here, bulls and steers. We can put a 1,200-pound bale up here, that unroller. And if I go at an angle, I can circle this hill, and when I get to the bottom, of course, I'm only gonna have half of the bale. I can turn around and come back up the side of this hill. Don't try and climb it going straight up. That's not what you wanna do. You wanna go on an angle. And if you go straight down the hill, you can do that, but I wouldn't recommend going very fast with a big bale, because it may push you right down into that creek down there, and you may run into a tree. But I've done this a lot, and I know my limitations on a four-wheeler. Just don't go fast. You're not in a Indy 500 race. You're spreading the bale. And so just remember that this hill is broomsedge. It's got a lot of that landsleaf ragweed on it. It's got our little buddies, the cedars on it, right there. Eastern red cedar. That's another indicator plant. There's some dewberry vines in here. I'm not gonna pull those up because I don't want to get a thorn in my hand. And there's a little bit of bare ground. Not much, but there's a little bit right there. Okay, I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to put animals on it. And these cedars don't do well on fertile soil either. But once we come in and unroll hay on any cedars that survive that, we just lop them with our loppers. And I've got the really, really good loppers. I'll show you what they are. We love these things. I tell you what, folks, there's not a better set made. They're not cheap, but again, you get what you pay for. There they are. Felco, they're made in Switzerland. Folks, you can replace these darn things. If you wear out the tips, you can just take these screws out and just buy another set of tips. If you break a handle, you can take that screw out. It's an Allen wrench, Allen head, and you can put in a new handle. You don't have to buy the whole thing. But I tell you what, I've cut some big cedar trees with these, and they're fiberglass no, that's aluminum. That's aluminum. That's aluminum handles. We do have some that have fiberglass handles. And our boys are so stout, and one of them was really cranking on a big tree, probably bigger than what the loppers are made for, and he snapped the handle off right there. Well, just bought a new handle, stuck it in, we were right back going again. So anyway, if you got broomsedgy looking areas like this, and you're wondering how you're going to take care of it, well, get you some hay, bring you some cows in here. See, our water source, we've got two. We've got the creek, and then I've got a pond right over that hill there with a drinking skirt, a rock skirt on it. We'll probably use the rock skirt because we got a good rain last night. We got 2 inches, and it really brought the ponds up. That creek down there is flowing right now. It actually has a riffle in it. And before the rain, it was bone dry. There wasn't any, I shouldn't say it was bone dry. It just didn't have a lot of water in it. I love to see a riffle in the creek. But that's what we're gonna do. Anytime you can bring fertility onto your farm in the form of a big round bale and unroll it across your landscape, all you're gonna do is get better forage. I don't like the looks of this. I mean, it's awful looking. You know, a rabbit would have to pack his lunch to make it across the top of this hillside. There's just nothing in here hardly. But we're gonna fix it. So when I see places like this, my head gets to spinning, and I'm like, okay, I've got the remedy for this, and it's not gonna cost me a fortune. I'm not gonna have to go buy, a couple $1,000s worth of lime, phosphorus, potassium, all that stuff. I'm just gonna bring in a big round bale with that bale unroller, and we're gonna fix this. We're gonna lock them on here. So we'll put a poly wire right around the edge of this whole field. They can't get off of it. And this is gonna be hooked back to the water over there, so they can walk to get them a drink. We got a good patch of woods here. It's a ravine. They can get down out of the wind. It's gonna be a nice place, and it's facing south. So they're gonna get full sunlight. Oh, it's gonna be so fun to see what we can do here. Folks, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good one, and anybody looking for a really good bull, we've got one for sale. He's going up on the website here pretty soon. He's Macho 192. He is a beaut. He's 3.5 years old. He's gonna make somebody an awful nice herd sire. And the only reason we're selling him is we've got a whole crop of 2-year-olds coming, and we no longer need him. So somebody's gonna get a really nice bull and get some good genetics in your herd to get those 1,000-pound cows that'll make you some money on your forage. Won't go broke trying to keep those big old cows going in the wintertime. Folks, y'all have a good one.